Okay.
So, starting from what was this page called?
My progress.
My Progress. We look at requirements. Every program is going to have core classes, electives, and general education requirements. Anything not applicable to your program is listed under other courses. They don't contribute to your graduation goal or something like that.
If you have any questions on the other courses listed at the bottom of your My Progress screen, please visit with registration or your advisor for more information. To see the details on individual requirements, click Show Details. Each section may contain multiple requirements. In our situation, core classes has 3 individual sections that must all be completed to complete your degree. Section 1 has 7 courses that are required. In this particular example, 5 of 7 are completed. Individual classes or courses that apply to the requirement are listed below in the grid. So does that make sense? That there's 3 sections, so when it says 1 of 3 completed, it's saying this particular section is completed because we did our 1 of 1 course. It's all green. But we have 2 other sections. This one we have to do 1 of these courses, and in this one we have to do 7, and 5 are completed. And I really like having one planned here, so let's just go ahead and
Loading course results. Yeah, this is my fake radio voice.
And you're right that, like, even now maybe I should not be recording because occasionally I think you're going to hit glitches like this where
Yeah,
it's just slow.
this is basically my notes. We'll throw them up and
So then if we go back to My Progress, and there's our 1 of 3 sections. 5 of 7 courses in this top section are completed, but 1 is now planned for summer 2018.
nice.
So yeah, that's a good way to explain the requirements, that there can be multiple sections in each requirement, in each component. These should probably be called components. The business electives, general education requirements are components of the degree. Within each component, there can be multiple requirement sections.
Multiple required sections?
Multiple sections of requirements, because really they're very different. Like, this is the individual requirement that meets section 1. This is the individual requirement that meets section 2. See, I don't know the best way to say that, but there can be multiple sections in each component with various requirements.
Well, that's why we're talking about it now, because
Yeah,
we want to get
yeah,
the language
yeah.
streamlined. And
Yeah.
my first attempts were like, this looks like this. And like anybody who's clicking through it could guess that.
Yeah. And I hope it is intuitive. I hope that it does. I mean, the green, yellow, red, the take courses, 5 of 7.
Do you want to just talk about those other components real quick? So if we hide the core classes, and do you want to just talk about business electives and general education requirements?
And I don't know that we do want to cover them too much. I mean, I think the important thing, because each degree can have such different items listed in each
Like multiple
component.
different sections of electives or something?
Yes.
Okay.
That we don't necessarily want to go into too much detail other than saying that look at each component and the requirements within to see how close you are to completing.
Gotcha. Any required electives will be shown here.
Yes.
And
really, we don't ever, well, it is funny. This is probably one of the few that require specific electives. In other ones, you're just going to see these massive list of electives and they can pick anything they want to.
Well, it's worth mentioning that And I would like to say that as part of the
Yeah.
tutorial, like most programs will have a large number of available electives
Or maybe you should just say programs will have varying electives
yeah, correct.
that can apply to your degree.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
And then do most programs have general education
Yeah.
requirements?
I
Most
think so, but
programs?
again, I think you could say that in the same same sentence. You could say different degrees will have varying electives and general education requirements. Refer to either the current SEC course catalog or your My Progress in Student Planning to see what particular courses apply to your degree.
For this particular business admin degree, there are 3 of 5 something or another general education requirements, sections of
5 components to the general education requirements.
each component having required and elective options.
Having various numbers of required courses.
You can kind of see why some people write it out as you're going
Yeah.
through, because it's like, yeah, you got some options here.
Right, and I think, on some of these, like test summary,
Yeah.
that doesn't need to be written out, I don't think. That just shows your admissions and placement test scores, contact admissions or the test score center if you have any questions. But some of these more complicated ones, we can take a stab at writing these out. I think you'll get a little more familiar with it now that we've had this conversation. Maybe it'll flow really well, but if not, we can write out some of these more complicated ones.
Gotcha. Well, I'm getting a foundation to work from
Yeah.
here, and that's why I'm recording it also, so
Yeah.
that, because I'm still a little sketchy on, the distinction between components and sections.
Well, and those
stuff.
are just kind of, whatever we call it, we just have to stick to it.
Right.
So if we end up calling these, like you said, if these are the sections, I'm cool with that. They're sections. If they're components of a degree, they're components. I just want to make sure they realize that when they click into core classes, even though it's one component, there are 3 completed sections or chunks of this top core class.
Like if we called them chunks, somebody would definitely have us re-record it.
Yes, chunks is bad. Chunks is bad. But yeah, I don't know if you call it components and then sections within the components, or maybe we should even look at a thesaurus to see what some other good words are for sections and components.
Maybe we consult with somebody in registration. Like,
I-
what do they call this stuff?
Yeah, we could ask. I didn't see Diane today. I don't know if she's in, but I think Lori's there, and I could ask her, and we could look in the course catalog to see if they just have it called something.
Because it would be really cool if the college already had a nomenclature for those core whatevers, and if we add our own terms, especially
Yeah.
techie sounding terms like components, it might not synergize with
Right.
admissions.
Do you want me to stop the recording?
Well,
I don't know how long this is going to take, but I was going to show you where the course catalog is out on our main public website, just because this is basically what, and maybe I need to,
try the https:// Well, the internet should be working. At this point, I'd almost say Google southeast.edu. Maybe you need a www there?
let's try that.
This is great because it's going to get saved on YouTube.
It is?
Oh, yeah.
You can take it off of there.
Okay, that popped right up. We just needed a www.
Yeah, don't let this get saved out anywhere.
We need the notes. I'll leave it unlisted for now.
Because you can find it that way, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll find it if I'm logged in as.
Yeah, we don't want anybody else to see this. Okay, so I was just going to say, so on the main public website, here's
but-
our catalog, and this is basically the information that's listed. The problem is, one of the reasons why this is kind of hard to use or can be difficult is because
PDF
it's
only?
PDF only. But if you
356 pages.
if you come in here and find the business degree,
Control F, maybe?
or can I just do it here? Nope.
Mhm.
Nope. Control F. I wonder if I can do BSAD. Oh, yep, there it is. Nope.
That was a math subsection for
Yep.
business.
I know there's going to be a ton of this. There. So this is basically going to list out exactly what we're seeing in that much nicer format on the student planning. And it doesn't really look like they call them the sections anything here.
These electives are designed for students to customize their courses.
And skills in their selected degree. So that would be a good way maybe to describe it. And then I like this term, choose from the following approved elective courses.
Okay.
Because that's basically what these are then. These are the approved
Yay,
courses.
we've got a term.
Right.
Approved electives
Right.
for this program of study or for
Yes.
this degree.
Program of study. That's
We have
fantastic.
approved electives for this program of study.
Right. I'll ask registration if they have some other term that they call when they break down these degrees by core classes and then the various core sections, if they call them anything.
Because,
Okay.
I mean, I like components, but maybe that's not right.
And components is kind of
Maybe it's already used for something else.
and it just kind of implies, I don't know, I just don't know that component's the best word. I'm gonna
Go ahead and hit stop.